In society today, businesses have a huge influence. 50 to 70% of a business's impact on social and environmental topics is actually in their supply base. And because they have the power to change what they do internally as well as within their supply chain, the impact that this can have on the world is enormous.
Heineken is one of the 4 biggest brewers in the world. When you work with a big supply chain like ours, with almost 100,000 suppliers globally, it becomes very important to understand to what extent our suppliers work in line with our core values.
We do business in international markets in South America, in Central America, in Europe and Asia. And so in all those different markets you have different regulations. And that proved a huge challenge for us. Very quickly EcoVadis rose to the top because the focus for their platform was not just on risk and compliance, but also on adding value.
The mission of EcoVadis is to improve sustainable business practices of companies worldwide. The way that we do that is by leveraging on the global supply chains. With the rating, we have a methodology that's adapted to 150 different purchasing categories as well as 110 different countries. So we're taking the complexity of sustainability and analyzing the risks that are behind and synthesizing that into one standard rating.
I think for us the next step is to start to dig deeper. What can we do to not just measure where a supplier currently stands, but how can we make sure that they improve? And that's where I really think Heineken can have a positive impact using EcoVadis as a tool.
We had been talking about sustainability forever. It's not always that easy to make a change, but we feel with the introduction of EcoVadis we've made a major step forward in bringing sustainability more into a day-to-day basis discussion with our supply chain partners, and that's the first step.
Once companies realize that their bottom line can be stronger by respecting environmental and social practices, this is the tipping point and change that we're looking for.
With rising global populations and climate change, there's going to be a huge constraint on certain resources. We want to be in a position that we can thrive in the next 50 or 100 years. And we know that in order to do that, sustainability has to be embedded in everything that we do.
If the level of maturity of small-medium enterprise in developing countries increases, then we can contribute to the development of a more solid middle class and to lift people out of the worst forms of poverty where they currently are.